Hello and welcome back to my Kero Blaster Zangyou mode speedrunning tutorial. Today we'll be going over Hikichi Plateau. This is the jacket. It's essentially just a temporary extra heart, but its true value comes in its sheer classiness, so try and keep it as long as possible. This deep snow at the beginning of the level is hiding a fridge. In order to line yourself up to kill it, boost once in your initial fall, and then once more on the ground before jumping towards it while mashing to kill it. Then boost up here and onto this ice block. Kill this enemy and its snowball before edge boosting off the ice, and then over to this ladder. Switch to the fire, and then, while climbing the ladder, shoot up to avoid this snowball. Do a high boost up these ice spikes and shoot it with the fire to bypass it. Then simply make your way through the rest. If this giant snowball looks like it'll hit you, you can retreat into this hidey hole for safety before then proceeding. In this room, there are a lot of fridges, all of which have the potential to drop 50 coins. If you only have near 100 coins still, going for them is very much needed. Switch to the quad in order to stay safe from this fridge. If you can't mash fast enough to kill it before it shoots you, you can instead use the fire and line yourself up with the top half of the fridge in order to quickly destroy the snowballs as soon as it shoots them. Same deal here. I either mash the quad to kill both fridges or pull back and try to destroy the snowballs with the fire. You could also turn around to start shooting backwards, boost twice towards the fridges, the last boost being drawn out, and then boost while under this first fridge for an extra cool looking juke. This room has a very low ceiling, so boosting here is pretty tight. Also, be sure to just hold the fire down for the majority of the room. First, jump to destroy this icicle before boosting over the spikes. Use that same method here to avoid these obstacles. Jump here and let go of the right button to avoid running straight into the left of these spikes. Once you get to your max height, hold right once again to boost on over. Here you want to do a low jump, and be sure to wait until you're under this lip before boosting so you don't get caught. Boost over these spikes and then do a high boost onto this enemy's head. Then boost across the rest of the heads until this point. Here, the safest thing to do is just to jump onto this tiny platform without boosting, before then jumping and doing a late boost onto this enemy's head. If you have been already, don't boost going into this room. Instead, just walk in and do a high boost onto this moving platform and then an edge boost to avoid this icicle. Also, same deal here. Don't boost into this room. Walk forward and try and do an edge boost over these ice spikes and then over these gaps. Jump up this ladder and shoot the fire to kill this enemy. Wait for the icicle before high boosting to this platform and then to this one. Switch to the quad and start shooting up before entering the next room. Wait until this icicle is destroyed before trying to boost onto the elevator. The best strategy for clearing out this snow is just to stay in place and mash up while jumping. This mini-boss is purely random. It can travel from any vent to any vent. Because of this, there really isn't much of a consistent strategy to killing it other than mashing fast and avoiding damage. One tip I do want to give is that if the boss starts getting really close to its destination, try and keep your distance, since the enemies that spawn once he goes away can really easily hit you if you are right on top of them. Once the boss dies, stand on the edge of the elevator instead of the middle, since it doesn't activate immediately if you are directly on top of it. Don't enter this shop. Even if you think you need to refill your hearts or get another snazzy jacket, there is a much faster and more convenient place to do it later in the level. Instead of going to the right in this room, high boost up to these platforms to get up quicker. Unless you have less than 150 to 160 coins at this point, you shouldn't need to worry about this safe. This is the wind room. Since you are constantly going to be pushed to the right at a maximum speed, the general goal of the room is to stay either in the air or on the ice in order to conserve that speed. First, either use the quad or the fire to destroy these first two snowballs. Then jump over here and use the fire to kill this snowman, and then either the quad or the fire to destroy this snowball. For this climb, use a forward boost to land on the left edge of this block, making enough space to vault over this one. Then a forward boost onto this slope and a high boost over the top. Do a full jump off of the ice. Then, while avoiding this jumping enemy, boost over to this platform. Shoot up while jumping off the icy parts of these platforms to either bait out or straight up kill these enemies. If you previously found that you did want to refill your hearts or jacket, high boost up here and then again onto this ladder to access a secret. Here you can shop as well as get an extra 120 coins. Going up to this shop area does waste quite a bit of time, but it can be worth it if you are low on health. Plus, the extra money can make up for some of the time later in the run. Whatever you decide to do, make your way over here and jump at this point, going into the next room while shooting the fire. The momentum from this room will somewhat carry over into the next one, giving you a bit of solid speed. This room can be kinda confusing since some of the ice is solid whereas some is not. However, with my magic editing powers, I was able to create this little map for you, showing what is safe to stand on and what is not. The red blocks are indications of everything that is solid. As for the actual room, first destroy these ice spikes before jumping across this gap next to these spikes. Press and hold the jump button in order to get clear over them, and then boost once you get under this jumping fish. The rest of the room should be completely fine as long as you didn't mess up too much. Going too slow can make this ball of electricity get all up in your business, but it can be avoided if you high boost up here and then drop down. Start shooting up with any weapon once you get onto this moving platform. This is to spawn an enemy early so he isn't in your way during one of your jumps. Boost up to these books and then onto the ladder. Go left and platform up to this ladder. There's a chest with 120 coins to your left, however, if you access the secret earlier into the level, skip it and instead catch this early cycle with these moving platforms. You want around 260 to 270 coins at this point, just for a reference. There's also a 1 up here to high boost to if you really think you need it. Just shoot up in this room. This enemy shouldn't bother you if you're boosting. Try and clear out these books while the boss spawns. This guy is pretty random, but not in ways that you might think. Where he moves, shoots, and where and when he is vulnerable is all consistent and based on your movement and which of his nubs you kill. First, kill these first 2 nubs, then weave around this platform and boost once to the left. Climb up and down this ladder before going straight in and shooting the last nub. This very specific pattern will set up the boss right in a position that leaves him perfectly vulnerable to you. Now here's where the randomness factor comes in. Normally, you're only supposed to do 60 damage to him in this second phase. However, if he decides to take his sweet time with spreading out his tentacle things, then you can do more, possibly even killing him in one go. If you don't kill him immediately, the rest of the locations for his nubs are completely consistent depending on which phase he is in, so get yourself familiar with this boss if you want to get through him as fast as possible. Make your way to the teleport room, destroy the books, and the train station will await you. Now here is what a good Hikichi plateau would look like in a speedrun.